People don't just pass certification exams from my videos, instead they pass with flying colors, which is well evident in the comment section of my previous videos. If you missed question number 1 to 60, please check previous parts of the series. Let's mark the keyword. Always mark the keyword so as to arrive at the correct answer. If we try to understand the scenario asked in the question, we need to include everyone. Therefore, guiding AI principle, which includes everyone, should be the correct answer. So that is a kind of hint. Let's look at option B first. B says fairness. Fairness comes into picture when an AI system doesn't discriminate or biased against a group or individual based on gender, race, sexual orientation, or religion. As per the question, none of these are mentioned, hence incorrect choice. Now let's look at option C. C says privacy and security. Since there is no mention of personal information or PI data like email or phone number in the question, therefore privacy and security is again incorrect choice. Now let's move to option D. Option D says reliability and safety. If we read the question, visual and hearing, these are no way related to any kind of safety or reliability features. Reliability and safety comes into picture when there is a matter of life and death situations. Therefore, D is out. We are left out with A, option A, that is inclusiveness. Quick for the exam. Whenever in the question any kind of impairments is mentioned, especially related to sight or can be like hearing, then think about inclusiveness. Let's verify this in the official documentation. It's written, inclusiveness empower people who have hearing, visual and other impairment. So thing to note is any kind of impairment comes into picture, then it is inclusiveness. So I hope you got the concept. We'll lock option A as the correct answer for this. Alrighty, interesting question. If we look at option B, C and D, all the options have columns word in common. We know that we split the data randomly based upon rows and never into columns. So these are incorrect choice. We are left off with option A. Let's verify this in official documentation, as I always back my answer to ensure maximum correctness. It's written, add the split data component to your pipeline in the designer and connect the dataset that you want to split. For splitting mode, select split rows. We'll lock option A as the correct answer. Okay, we got an interesting question. Let's understand the question first. In a customer support team for a company, there are mainly two divisions. One is human agents and the second one is chatbot agents who are non-humans. Let me clarify and arrive at the correct answer by giving you an example. Now let's say there are 100 customer calls per day and 10 human agents are there. So per human agent has to deal with 10 customer calls approximately every day if the workload is equal. Now let's say the company has 10 chatbots and 10 human agents. Then one human agent needs to attend only 5 customer calls per day. That is half of the baseline which I have mentioned. From this example, it's clear that the workload for human customer service agents is reduced. Therefore, we can notice a decrease in workload. So C looks good. We'll reject the rest of the option and lock it as the correct answer. Let's bring the heat to the snow. The question is about transparency principle. If we want to use automated machine learning user interface to build a machine learning model using transparency principle, then we need to be fully aware of the limitations for overall usage. The keyword here is explain in option C. So this is the explain word is associated with transparency. So option C looks good because in the question there's a mention of transparency and we got to explain word, which is a keyword for transparency. Looks good. We'll reject the rest of the option and lock it as the correct answer. Alright, this question will test your hands-on knowledge somewhat. because the question is looking for missing on unusual values. If you have done the hands-on, then you might be knowing the answer already. If we provide unusual or missing values, then it will be unsafe for everyone because it implies that the model is being tested properly before deploying to live production environment. For example, let's say we haven't tested the consequence of colliding a car against a wall moving over a speed of 60 kilometers per hour where two passengers are sitting. So what will be the impact if the car collides on the two passengers? So failing to test such scenarios can result in life and death situation. So you know that life and death situation comes into picture, then reliability and safety is the answer. So we'll reject rest of the option. If you look here in reliability and safety in the official documentation, it's written these discrepancies might occur when the system or model underperforms for specific demographic groups or for infrequently observed input conditions, that is incorrectly tested or like missing values in the training data. So that's what is required. We'll lock option D as the correct answer. This question should be a piece of cake for you now, because we have encountered a similar question, or in the previous question we saw a similar scenario, and where I have explained this with the example of the car, the speed of the car, right? Since it's a matter of again life and death, if you read the question, so designing a safe operating car is the necessity. Therefore, the correct answer for this is again reliability and safety. I hope you got the concept for reliability and safety now, and it should be crystal clear for you. Alright, this is somewhat a unique question, but we can arrive at the correct answer by looking at the keywords, that is extract quantities and unstructured text. So we know that a named entity recognition, also known as NER, is one of the features which can identify and categorize entities in unstructured text. So we'll keep option C and reject the rest. This is just a definition of named entity recognition. So we'll look at the official documentation for the same. It's written the NER feature can identify and categorize entities in unstructured text. Just note unstructured text. For example, people, places or location, organization and quantities. We'll lock C as the correct answer. Alright, interesting and easy question. We have seen this in previous parts of the series. So bounding box is the keyword and it is very easy question. So whenever you see keywords like bounding box in the question, then think about object detection and you should get your answer. We'll keep option B and reject the rest. If we look at the official documentation, it's written object detection is similar to tagging, but the API returns the bounding box. Just note bounding box coordinates in pixels for each object found in the image. Let me explain this. There are multiple pictures like objects in the image like car, monkey, man. So if you want to identify the car, it will create a box for the monkey, box for a person, human being. So that kind of like box is there. So object detection comes into picture. Basically it is used to detect objects. So we'll lock option B in the interest of time. Alright, another question which we can easily arrive at the correct answer just by looking at the keywords. So whenever you see keywords like generate additional features, then feature engineering, that is option A, should strike in your mind. We'll reject the rest of the options and we'll look at the official documentation. It's written normally feature engineering is applied first to generate additional features. That's what is required. We'll lock option A as the correct answer. Okay, this is a real life scenario for AI system, especially where home loans is encountered or like witnessed. Now let's look at option A. It says inclusiveness. There is no mention of any kind of disability like related to vision or hearing in the question. So inclusiveness is out for now. We'll look at option B. B says fairness. So as per the scenario asked in the question, There is no requirement for treating all people fairly because it is a matter of home loans, right? We need to design a system which can like assess whether home loan should be approved. There is no reason for treating people fairly, so the principle of fairness doesn't comes into picture. So B is out. Now let's look at option C. C says privacy and security. There is no mention of personal data in the question, like email or any kind of phone number in the question. Again, privacy and security doesn't come into picture. So C is out. We are left off with transparency. Quick tip for the exam: whenever you see keywords like explainable in the question, then think about transparency. If you look at the official documentation for Microsoft, it's written transparency. AI systems should be understandable. So here again you can see the main keyword understandable, transparency. Transparency means understandable. So I hope you got the concept. You can play the videos for each of these. These are very informative videos. I've seen this. In one go you should be able to understand. It's very easily explained here. You can have a look at that. In the interest of time, we'll lock due transparency. So please don't go away. Let's meet in 2024 latest syllabus practice exam question for AI-900.